Today we're going to showcase the top 3 attack strategies for Town Hall 12 in 2025. This will include the army composition, the hero equipment combinations, the CC, and all the skill you need to execute these strategies. The first attack strategy of the video is going to be Zap Dragons, and I love this attack strategy because it's easy and it doesn't really rely on epic equipment. So if you don't have some of them, that is fine. For instance, you're not going to use any epic equipment on the Warden, neither on the Queen. On the King, you can obviously bring the Spiky Ball here, but if you don't have the Spiky Ball, the Rage Vial is more than enough. Now, the first thing I want you to think about with this attack strategy is, where am I going to use my giant arrow? So for me, I use it right here. We aim it. We shoot, I get rid of the sweeper and the air defense, and that is huge because I want to come in with my dragons from over here. So this sweeper isn't a problem. That sweeper I got down would have been a major issue. Now, something you might have asked before, and I'm going to answer now, is why are we using the Barbarian King instead of the Minion Prince? And it's up to you on this one. For me, I use the Barbarian King when there's a lot of trash on the outside of the base. So look at this here. There's an air defense on the outside of the base. Basically, if there's a lot of buildings on the outside of the base where you can use your king to funnel the dragons, then use the king. If there isn't a lot of buildings on the outside of the base, and you can use, say, a baby dragon, we've got 2 baby dragons in this army, you can use the baby dragon to funnel, then use that and bring the minion prince instead. But obviously, I couldn't funnel all of this with a baby dragon because the air defense is there. So I'm going to use my Barbarian King to take that down. Now that we've got that out of the way, you've got 4 Zaps and 2 Quakes in this army. I'm going to keep pausing it. I'm so sorry, but this attack strategy goes quite quickly. So, how do you use these 4 Zaps and 2 Quake? Well, you can either zap out 2 air defenses. So an air defense is 2 Zap and 1 Quake. So you can take down 2 air defenses with that. Or you need 4 Zap and 1 Quake to take down a Multi-Inferno. So for me here, I wanted to go for the Multi-Inferno and for the Queen. Now somehow I missed the Queen. I don't really know how I managed that. But anyways, 4 Zap, 1 Quake on an Inferno, or split them on air defenses. It's completely up to you. Then you're going to spam your dragons pretty close to each other, come in with the blimp very shortly after, and pop the Warden ability almost immediately. We want to negate the first couple of shots from the Eagle, but we also want to keep some of our balloons alive so that they can go into the core of the base. I use a Rage spell and a Freeze to take the Town Hall down. I also use the Earthquake there, because where else was I going to use it? But look at this. I want to highlight this. The dragons have all gone into the core perfectly, because everything down here was taken down by the king with his OP Vamp Stash ability. So this was a perfect case scenario of when to use the king instead of the minion prince. But if there's no air defenses on the outside of the base, or if it's really easy to funnel, then come in with the minion prince. As you can see, we have so many dragons up. I used the poison on the defensive queen. Thankfully, there was a Lava Hound CC here, so it doesn't come out against dragon attacks. If there was a baby dragon or a witch CC, then we just would have used the poison spell. The queen somehow has gone inside the whole base and dealt with the back end air defense. So we did get a lot of value out of the queen in this hit. In fact, she accounted for 3 different air defenses, which is insane to think about. But this attack strategy is ridiculous. Look at how many dragons are up. Swagged a Rage and a Freeze. Definitely an amazing attack strategy, particularly, I keep saying that word, but particularly once you learn how to use the Giant Arrow ability, it will open up so many possibilities for you. Next up, we have Super Witch Fireball. Now, the Fireball, you can do it at level 15, but I definitely recommend getting it all the way up to level 18 because you get a radius increase at this level. In terms of the Queen, if you don't have the Magic Mirror, you can run the Invis Vial or the Giant Arrow. Both of those are good combinations. And same with the King. If you don't have the Spiky Ball, you can run the Rage Vial if you want, or the Gauntlet should you have that. But this attack strategy is ridiculously strong. Easily the best attack strategy at this Town Hall. Now, to plan this hit, all you really need to figure out is where you're going to fireball. And the most valuable target you can get with your fireball is the CC. Now, if you can't fireball the CC, that's not the end of the world. But for me here, I can. I'm going to land the fireball on the Eagle Artillery, and then 2 Earthquakes will finish off the CC and everything in the area. But for instance, if the CC was, you know, not reachable with a fireball, I could fireball on this expo here. I'd get rid of these 5 buildings, and I would still consider that enough value to get a 3-star from there, because it's not just about the defensive value you get with your fireball. It's also about the funnel you set. That is the most important thing, because the Super Witches aren't very good at funneling themselves, so you need the fireball to do that. As you can see here, we get a lot of awesome defenses down, but the most important thing here is the fireball. Now, I pulled the Warden over with the Super Witches. Notice how I haven't put my King down yet. You are in no rush to get your King down. In fact, you want the big boys to tank, because they can get replenished. Our King cannot get, well, he can get replenished, but far less, like, he's not going to get revived like a big boy is, obviously. On the flank, we've got the Queen and the Siege Barracks. Now, if you can't get a Siege Barracks donated to you, you can use a Wall Wrecker, or you can even use a Stone Slammer if you want, but definitely worth it if you can get a Siege Machine donated to you of the Siege Barracks kind. And with this attack strategy, you've got one jump spell, and you've got the Earthquake Boots, and you've essentially got to use the two of them to get through the base. So because my King has plenty of health, I used the jump spell first, then the King ability second, but I could have done it the other way around. Honestly, I should have saved my King ability till right now, then he would have opened up all these walls, because this is the biggest weakness of this attack strategy, getting through the back end of the base. We don't have a Royal Champion to finish the base off yet. We get that at Town Hall 13. I'm looking forward to doing that top 3 attack strategy video, because this attack strategy will definitely feature there. But we've still got so much time, because really the fireball shouldn't take that long. You've got 2 invis spells. You can see I've swagged so many spells with this attack here. You've got 2 invis spells that you can use to redirect the fireball if need be. You just invis some defenses. But yeah, this attack strategy is ridiculous. There is not enough damage at Town Hall 12 to take down this army. The only way it can defend is either you make a horrible funneling mistake. That's way number 1. Or way number 2 is you run out of time. So just make sure you don't run out of time, and 9 times out of 10 you will be fine. I actually run out of time to swag all my spells, which is a pretty noob mistake. Now, if you don't have the fireball either unlocked or leveled up, don't worry, there is also a Zap Super Witches army, which is incredibly strong. We're going to switch out the fireball for the Eternal Tome, and then basically the same on the King and the Queen, and let's see how this attack strategy works. Set a funnel with a mini Warden Walk. We're not doing a big Warden Walk here. Keep in mind we've only got 1 rage spell with the army. We're doing a mini Warden Walk in front of where we're zapping, so I'm going to zap out the Multi-Inferno here so that we can set up the Super Witches. Now with this, you bring 5 Lightning and 1 Quake. That's enough to get down any Expo or any Inferno. You actually only need 4 zaps to get rid of an Inferno. It is not enough to get rid of the Eagle. The Eagle takes 7 zaps, so if you are going to zap the Eagle, make sure you get a lot of other defensive value around it. Otherwise, it's just not worth the spell investment. I'd much rather have the Eagle be up the whole attack, like you see here, and do all the damage in the world that it can, or it's attempting to do, rather than be completely spellless. Because if you're going to be spellless in this, you are often going to run into time issues. So we got the main push coming in here. The King is getting hit pretty hard here, but as we talked about in the last attack, do not put the King down immediately. You can delay putting him down a couple of seconds so that, you know, he doesn't get wrecked, because we need that Earthquake Boots ability in the core of the base. Now, you'll notice with this attack, I did bring 8 Hogs instead of a mixture of Hogs and Valks in the CC. It's completely up to you what you bring. Both of them are fine combinations, just whatever to support the Queen on the top side of the base. You're going to see here I used this last lightning spell to zap out those 2 pups. You can use that last lightning on skeleton spells, headhunters, or pups, really anything. It's completely up to you. The healers are getting wrecked in the core of this base, but it doesn't matter. The Super Witches have made it through. We've got the jump spell on the back end to get us out, and there's really nothing that can be done to stop this army. I've still got my Queen ability. Now, this attack strategy, more so than the Fireball one, can get close on time, because the Eternal Tome ability really isn't that useful. You saw me use it here to negate the Town Hall Bomb. That was obviously really nice, but the Super Witches are a ranged unit anyway, so the Town Hall Bomb isn't doing much to them. It will, however, take down their big boys, but as you can see right here, the big boys are sick tanks, and also if they go down, they're going to get respawned anyway. Swagging less spells with this attack strategy, because obviously we use a lot of them in the Zap Quake. So if you want a stylish army, obviously the Fireball, but if you don't have that, this is a more than adequate replacement. And the last attack strategy of the video, because I'm counting the 2 Super Witch armies as one, just 2 different versions of it, but the third army of the video is obviously Queen Charge Hybrid. This attack strategy is ridiculously strong. I'm going to show you how to use it. If you don't have the Spiky Ball, the Rage Vial is definitely more than enough with this army. If you don't have the Frozen Arrow, you can use the Giant Arrow or the Archer Puppet. Both of them are more than enough, and that is fine for the Warden. So with the Fireball Super Witch attack strategy we just showed, you want to use that army on bases where there's good Fireball value. Similarly, when it comes to a Queen Charge attack, you want a base with good Queen Charge value, and that's generally the bases with the Town Hall nearest to the outside. So diamond bases like this one, or box bases like the Zap Dragons you saw at the start of the video, are generally great for this attack strategy because it's really easy to get the Town Hall down. Now, you do need to worry about bases being smart about this, so you see this single Inferno set up to be really annoying here, and you're going to see it's going to attempt to be really annoying, but we can get away with only 2 rage spells in this army because there's just not that much damage on the base at Town Hall 12. So you see, we're going to deal with the CC here at the exact same time as that we're under a single Inferno, which is normally a terrible thing, but we've got 3 freeze spells, 1 invis spell, so we're just chilling at this point. I use my second rage spell to get through that, and you might think, Hooked, you've gone through your 2 rage spells super quickly. Are you going to be in trouble? Nope, the Queen is going to survive this battle. Now, there is a lot of damage on the back end of the base here, but still, I've got a freeze and an invis, and look at the value of the Frozen Arrow there. Didn't even have to use a freeze or an invis. Now we're going to use the Siege Barracks and the King on the funnel. The King's obviously going to be fantastic with that Vamp Stash. I don't even have the Vamp Stash maxed out. So we're coming in with the Hybrid. You want to do heal first, then Warden ability, then heal again. Now I freeze here because I'm trying to get my Warden to stand in range of everything. Because look at this, he's just out of range of a huge group of miners for this Warden ability. And I want to get everything in the Warden ability. But look, it's not going that well. The healers, though, have switched, and this is not an uncommon occurrence with this attack strategy. And it's generally not a bad thing either. Hybrid is basically unkillable when there are healers on it. Look at it. There is nothing this base can do. My Queen's still chilling on the bottom side of the base. She is not going to die despite having no healers on her. And the Hybrid's pushing through a pretty meaty part of base here. Like, my Queen Charge got good value, but it didn't get insane value. But that's all you need. If you can deal with the Town Hall and the CC, 9 times out of 10, that's enough value. Now, the Minion Prince can be a problem with this attack strategy, so you need to make sure you have a Headhunter to deal with him. So I used a Headhunter early on in this attack so that the Minion Prince would go down, because obviously the Hogs and the Miners aren't going to shoot back at that air hero.